In a dramatic escalation of tensions, Iran and the United States are locked in a fierce dispute over the events surrounding a daring rescue mission reportedly conducted by U.S. forces in Iranian territory. The operation, which centered on the extraction of a downed American pilot, has become a flashpoint in the already strained relations between the two nations, with each side offering sharply conflicting narratives. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has claimed that its air defenses successfully thwarted what it describes as a failed U.S. operation, alleging the destruction of multiple American military assets. According to the IRGC, Iranian forces engaged and destroyed two C-130 transport aircraft and two Black Hawk helicopters in southern Isfahan, portraying the event as a significant defeat for the United States. The Iranian narrative suggests that the operation was not a rescue mission, but rather a deceptive escape attempt masked under the guise of rescuing a downed pilot. Iranian officials have gone further, accusing former President Donald Trump of using the operation as a form of psychological warfare. An Iranian army spokesperson claimed Trump is now attempting to escape the scene of defeat through psychological warfare, a bold assertion that reflects the high stakes and deep mistrust between the two countries. Reports emerging from Iran's Fars news agency paint a vivid picture of intense overnight military activity across multiple provinces. The search for the American pilot reportedly spanned the regions of Isfahan, Shahar Mahal, and Bakhtiari, and Kogiluya and Boyer Ahmad, with local residents reporting the persistent sounds of aircraft and explosions throughout the night. Iranian forces claim to have shot down several drones, including MQ-9 Reaper and Hermes 900 systems, before allegedly destroying the U.S. aircraft involved in the operation. Iranian sources have also accused U.S. forces of attempting to destroy the wreckage of the D, owned aircraft, and concealing evidence of any casualties. Unverified field reports from the region have suggested that several American personnel may have been killed during the clashes. However, the U.S. has strongly denied these claims, maintaining that no American personnel were harmed or killed during the mission. The situation has been further complicated by reports of overnight strikes in Kogiluya and Boyer Ahmad province, where Iranian officials claim 9 people were killed and 7 wounded. Despite these reports, Iranian authorities have denied that any U.S. rescue operation took place in the area, dismissing claims of clashes as fabrications. Iran's political leadership has seized upon the conflicting narratives, openly mocking Washington's account of a successful rescue mission. Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, a prominent Iranian figure, took to social media to criticize Trump's claims of success, questioning the lack of evidence and suggesting that the U.S. rescue story remains unproven. The rescue story remains unproven as both sides push sharply conflicting accounts. Ghalibaf remarked, highlighting the ongoing battle of narratives between Tehran and Washington. As tensions continue to simmer, the New York Times reported on a dramatic and explosive twist to the unfolding events. According to the report, U.S. forces made the extraordinary decision to destroy their own aircraft inside Iran to prevent them from falling into enemy hands. The decision reportedly came after 2 U.S. transport planes intended to extract commandos and the rescued airmen became stranded at a remote base deep inside Iranian territory, with time running out and Iranian forces closing in. U.S. commanders deployed additional aircraft to complete the extraction and subsequently destroyed the disabled planes on the ground. At the heart of the operation was a downed airman, a weapons systems officer from an F-15E Strike Eagle who had been hiding for nearly 48 hours with Leamy. TED resources. The rescue of this airman became the top priority for the U.S. military, catalyzing one of the most complex special operations missions in recent history. The operation involved hundreds of special forces troops, supported by a robust array of warplanes, helicopters, and advanced intelligence assets. As the mission unfolded, U.S. attack aircraft launched strikes on approaching Iranian convoys to keep enemy forces at bay and protect the stranded airmen. The operation was marked by a fierce firefight, underscoring the extreme danger faced by the rescue team. Utilizing a locator beacon and secure communication equipment, the airmen coordinated with rescuers, ultimately surviving the ordeal in hostile territory. Military officials have indicated that the region where the jet went down is an area of significant opposition to the Iranian government, raising the possibility that local support may have aided the airmen's evasion of capture. After a tense 2-day race against Iranian forces, U.S. commandos successfully extracted the injured officer with no casualties reported among the rescue team. All personnel were safely flown out, and the injured airman was transported to Kuwait for medical treatment. This high-stakes rescue mission, described as one of the most challenging and complex in U.S. special operations history, has further intensified the already volatile U.S.-Iran relations. The conflicting narratives from both sides highlight the deep-seated tensions and the ongoing struggle for dominance in the region. As the world watches closely, the truth behind this dramatic operation remains elusive. buried beneath layers of geopolitical rivalry and strategic posturing. The geopolitical landscape is once again ablaze with tension as a contentious incident between the United States and Iran unfolds, casting a shadow over already strained diplomatic relations. The focal point of this dispute is a daring rescue mission by U.S. forces, which reportedly took place inside Iranian territory and involved the extraction of a downed American pilot. This operation has sparked a fierce exchange of narratives between the two nations, each presenting a starkly different version of events. On one side, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, claims a significant victory, asserting that its air defenses thwarted what they describe as a failed U.S. operation, resulting in the destruction of multiple American military assets. According to the IRGC, Iranian forces engaged and destroyed two C-130 transport aircraft and two Black Hawk helicopters in southern Isfahan, a move they portray as a decisive blow to U.S. military prowess. Their narrative suggests that the operation was not a genuine rescue mission, but rather a deceptive attempt by the U.S. to stage an escape under the guise of rescuing a downed pilot. The Iranian government has gone on the offensive, with officials accusing former President Donald Trump of using the operation as a tool of psychological warfare. Asterisk, an Iranian army spokesperson stated, Trump is now attempting to escape the scene of defeat through psychological warfare. Asterisk, highlighting the high stakes and entrenched mistrust that continue to define the relationship between Tehran and Washington. Reports from Iran's Fars news agency provide a vivid portrayal of the alleged events, depicting a night of intense military activity across multiple provinces. The search for the American pilot reportedly spanned regions including Isfahan, Chahar Mahal, and Bakhtiari, and Kogiluya and Boyer Ahmad. Local residents have recounted hearing the persistent sounds of aircraft and explosions throughout the night, underscoring the scale and complexity of the operation. Iranian forces claim to have shot down several drones, specifically naming the MQ-9 Reaper and Hermes 900 systems, before allegedly destroying the U.S. aircraft involved. Further complicating the narrative, Iranian sources have accused U.S. forces of attempting to destroy the wreckage of the downed aircraft to conceal evidence of casualties. Unverified reports from the field suggest that several American personnel may have been killed during clashes, although the U.S. has categorically denied such claims, maintaining that no one was injured or killed in the mission. In the province of Kogiluya and Boyer Ahmad, Iranian officials report that overnight strikes left 9 people dead and 7 wounded. However, despite these claims, authorities have denied that any U.S. helicopter-borne rescue operation took place in the area and have dismissed reports of clashes in other regions as fabrications. Amidst this backdrop of conflicting accounts, Iran's political leadership has seized the opportunity to openly mock Washington's narrative. Asterisk, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, an influential Iranian politician, took to social media to challenge Trump's claims of success, questioning the lack of evidence and suggesting that the rescue story remains unproven. This public ridicule underscores the deeply entrenched animosity between the two countries, with both sides seemingly more invested in winning the war of narratives than in finding common ground. Adding yet another layer of complexity to the situation, the New York Times has reported that U.S. forces made the extraordinary decision to destroy their own aircraft inside Iran to prevent them from falling into enemy hands. According to the report, IRGC claims that they downed one of the aircraft over Isfahan during the rescue mission. This dramatic decision was allegedly made after 2 U.S. transport planes tasked with extracting commandos and a rescued airman became stranded at a remote base deep within Iranian territory, with time running out and Iranian forces closing in U.S. Commanders made the critical call to deploy additional aircraft to complete the extraction while destroying the disabled planes on the ground. At the center of this high-stakes operation was a D-owned airman, a weapons systems officer from an F-15E Strike Eagle, who had been hiding for nearly 48 hours with little more than a pistol for protection. The mission to locate and rescue him quickly became a top priority for the U.S. military, triggering one of the most complex special operations missions in recent history. The rescue effort involved hundreds of special forces troops, supported by dozens of warplanes, helicopters, and advanced cyberspace and intelligence assets. As the operation unfolded, U.S. attack aircraft launched strikes on approaching Iranian convoys, dropping bombs and opening fire to keep enemy forces at bay. The stranded airmen survived in hostile territory by using a locator beacon and secure communication equipment to coordinate with rescuers. Military officials have suggested that the downed jet went down in a region where opposition to the Iranian government is significant, raising the possibility that local support may have played a role in helping the. After a tense 2-day race against Iranian forces, U.S. commandos successfully extracted the injured officer with no casualties reported among the rescue team. All personnel were safely flown out, and the injured airman was transported to Kuwait for medical treatment. Described as one of the most challenging and complex rescue missions in U.S. Special Operations history, this mission has added yet another chapter to the long and fraught history of U.S. As the dust settles on this dramatic episode, the battle between Washington and Tehran is no longer confined to the ground or skies. It has firmly entered the realm of narratives, with each side striving to control the storyline and shape international perception. The truth, as is often the case in such high-stakes geopolitical confrontations, remains elusive, buried somewhere in the tangled web of claims and counterclaims. As the situation continues to unfold, the world watches closely a war. That the outcome could have far-reaching implications for the future of U.S.-Iran relations and the broader geopolitical landscape.